Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson Smith, today provided assurances regarding Jamaica's long-standing Cuban medical cooperation program, expressing confidence in its integrity.
Providing an update on the Cuban Medical Cooperation Program amidst recent scrutiny and public concern, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Kamina Johnson Smith affirmed that the program, which has been in place for more than half a century, remains a vital pillar of Jamaica's healthcare system. The response comes after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in February announced expanded sanctions targeting Cuba's global medical missions, labeling them forced labor.
Jamaica's non-adversarial handling of this matter reflects not only our practice of diplomacy, but the strength of our bilateral relationships with both Cuba and the United States of America. Our structured process of review and engagement is progressing well, and we remain confident in the integrity of this program. We continue to engage diplomatically, including discussions which I held with the Cuban foreign minister, the current head of the U.S. Embassy, with whom both Minister Tufton and I and our teams met. And of course, as between CARICOM foreign ministers, as you would be aware, we have had discussions. We've exchanged perspectives, and we are seeking to ensure the best understanding and outcomes of this matter.
The minister explains that Jamaica's medical cooperation program with Cuba has been in place since 1976 and has operated under memoranda of understanding that have been upheld by successive administrations. Minister Johnson Smith also clarified that as the arrangements are being reviewed for renewal of the program, an initiative that got underway prior to the concerns emerging from the United States, the government had at that time taken the opportunity to evaluate and enhance administrative processes.
Given that the MOU had expired last year, the government of Jamaica had already begun a review process even before any international concerns were raised. So while we have identified a few areas for alignment with our own overseas labor programs and how they are administered, we are confident that the Cuban program is a legitimate bilateral cooperation program, not an example of trafficking.
The foreign minister says the government remains committed to diplomacy as a means of strengthening bilateral and regional relationships. She reaffirmed that Jamaica will continue to prioritize partnerships and cooperation, ensuring that its foreign policy decisions align with national interests and the principles of mutual respect, noting the approach has generally led to constructive engagement and productive outcomes on challenging issues as global discussions evolve. Joel Crosskill, CVM News.